Hey, it's Ellie. Welcome back to another video, or hello if you are new. So, I have a couple announcements about the series. First of all, I'm sorry if the mic quality is not great at the moment. I'm having some issues with my mic. I think I might have resolved them for the most part, but just in case this video sounds a little wonky, I apologize. I will hopefully have it fixed by the next time I record. I just was recording a different video and it seemed to be for the most part okay, but this is the first video that's just going to be like pure narration in my recording, so that'll give me a better idea of if it's actually fixed or not, or if I can still hear some residual issues. Second thing, I think I have decided to make some changes regarding the way I narrate these videos. It's just now that we're 30 episodes in and these videos are tending to be like 20 to 30 minutes long, sometimes longer, and as in the case with this video, it's just getting a little too much for me to keep up with editing the series and narrating and then editing the narration all together and everything. It adds quite a bit of work to narrate the entire episode every time. So I think what I'm gonna do is have a rough 10-minute narration, not a limit per se, but just a 10-minute narration for each episode, regardless of the length. If it's less than 10 minutes, obviously I will continue narrating to a blank screen, but most of the episodes are, you know, at like minimum 12 minutes or so is kind of what I aim for, if it's a smaller habitat. But we're not really having any small habitat areas anymore because we're getting to the end of the series. So yeah, from here on out, expect roughly the first 10 minutes of each video to be narrated, and then it will just be some relaxing music and whatnot. So just in case you have a preference for one or the other, you could know what to expect in the video. So yeah, today I am working on the education center, I decided to call it, because I felt like Kids Center did not really convey quite what I meant, and I think there is some educational elements to it, like with the sloth exhibit and whatnot. So education center it is. However, the things that I'm working on today have no educational purpose whatsoever, because I'm working on the arcade and then I work on the playground outside. So I had so much fun doing the arcade. However, for some reason, I was struggling with this building at the time, I remember, and I took a break, and then I kind of was figuring out how I wanted to do this arcade, because it was a little difficult to manage. But in the end, I started working on the skee ball machine and I forgot to continue recordings. So unfortunately, I've missed some of my building for the arcade, but otherwise you guys should see my little Dance Dance Revolution game. I believe I built the basketball hoop game, I don't know what to call it, and then I think I also built the skee ball, or not the skee ball, the air hockey machine. I don't think I've built that yet. In any case, you will see quite a bit of the arcade, and I think it turned out so fun. I absolutely love the little arcade room, and I did manage to get custom signs, billboards in there to make it feel like it is an actual arcade. I even managed to track down a digital video of a Dance Dance Revolution screen like an in-game screen, which was much more difficult than I would have thought. I thought that would be fairly easy to find, but it is not. So yeah. I did manage to get it eventually though, and I converted it to the proper files. So by the way, this zoo I mentioned last time is up on Steam, and I think I mentioned it at some point. Anyway, I did upload it onto the Steam Workshop, and there is a link to all of the custom billboards if you would like to download those as well. And the Dance Dance Revolution video clip is in there. I think it's about a minute long, and yeah, I'm happy I found it eventually. And then the other thing I work on in this episode is the playground, and that took a while. It has a pool. I eventually built like a little water play area, so like outside of the pool, you know, you have like a splash pad or whatever, swing sets, and just a nice little outdoor space for the kiddos to play in a supervised way, safely in the zoo. And yeah, that's the entirety of this episode. As I said, going forward, I'm just going to be narrating a small portion of these videos, and then we're getting pretty close to the end of this series, which I'm looking forward to. So I was so ill after I traveled though, so I took a week off to travel, and then I got back and I was really ill, so my videos were a little inconsistent for some time, just in the time frame. I did manage to get a video up, I think, every day, maybe except one, on my usual schedule, but they were not at the usual time, so apologies for that. But now that I'm back, I'm trying to get a little bit ahead of schedule, because I would like to be done editing these videos and narrating and doing all the things so that I can start moving on to my next project, which I actually have started building and I'm quite excited for, because I have been working in a diorama map, and I spent a lot of time terraforming, but I did make a really cool coastal map. So about half of it is land, and then the other half just goes into water. And I found some really fun inspiration. Cities like in Maine, I think, is kind of what I settled on for my main inspiration. The only sort of downside is that the choices for biomes are a little bit limited, so that I had to choose like a warmer temperate biome, because the tundra or the taiga biome, I don't remember which one I picked, but one of the biomes that would be like the next most similar was just too cold, and I didn't want it to be snowy all the time. I wanted to have like a sort of fall autumn feel to it, because when I think of New England area, one of the things I think about is the huge fall industry things like apples and maple, sort of. I don't know if you collect maple in the fall. I don't think so. But anyway, there's just like the changing leaves is a huge New England thing, because we have so many of those types of trees, but then the Maine coast has a lot of pine as well. So I kind of had to blend these two biomes, because it's right, I feel like it's right in the middle of the two biomes of the North America maps in terms of temperature, and I'm trying to keep it as accurate as possible. So yeah, that's all the updates. I'm going to leave you now with some relaxing music for the rest of the build. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to give it a like at the end. Subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me. I post speed build videos every Tuesday and Saturday for Planet Zoo, and videos on Thursdays for The Long Dark. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye!